Whoa is right. First at 11, piece by piece in chunks, big and small. The walls of the century-old Centennial Mills building in Northwest Portland started tumbling down this morning, and now it looks like this. The city saying the initial demolition is nearly complete, well ahead of schedule, and rail traffic through that area, including Amtrak, can now resume. Great news. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Mulco. KGW's Harley Coldiron spoke with neighbors who, for a second straight day, watched it all unfold.
A lot of memories, seeing things as I see things as they used to be.
The demolition of the Centennial Mills building is bittersweet for Daryl Watkins.
Then I would go down, get everything running, and then go down and open up specific bins to make specific types of flour for different bakeries that we had contracts with.
Day after day, for over a decade, he worked at the mill, mixing flour and making various creations.
I can remember there's that brand new fire escape when that got put on about 5 years before it shut down.
But in just a short 24 hours, the building has gone from standing tall to losing a water tower. And now nearly the entire top half of the building is gone.
There were a lot of people going in and out of that building, and it was not safe, and it's good to see it come down.
KGW live streaming the demolition all day as crews with a Eugene-based contractor used a high-reach excavator to tear down walls, all while spraying it down with water to avoid dust, debris, and asbestos flying everywhere.
You see how much the walls shake. It looks like a good stiff wind would take it down at this point.
Throughout the day, we caught shocking video showing the 116-year-old walls swaying back and forth. While the controlled detonation was largely successful, KGW obtained several images of shattered windows from a nearby building. In one case, chunks of glass even flew across the condo. The city said the contractor hoped to have the building at half its height in 2 weeks, but this video shows they may be well ahead of schedule.
And I expected there'd be a bit of a delay, but I'm really shocked to see them going at it.
Harley Coldiron reporting new this evening. Amtrak says service between Portland and Seattle will resume tomorrow, that it's not clear when the section of Nadeau Parkway or across the railroad Fields Park could reopen. We'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, in Longview, a demolition of sorts is taking place there too at the site of the deadly chemical tank disaster at a paper mill. The tank rupture at the Nippon Dynawave plant in May released hundreds of thousands of gallons of caustic white liquor, killing 11 workers and injuring several others. Now crews are dismantling that tank as the mill prepares to start back up. According to a state permit issued yesterday, the plant will install 2 temporary bulk liquor storage tanks that will be used for up to 3 months. Each tank will have safety measures in place to contain any spills and will be inspected daily. The investigation into the cause of the rupture is ongoing. New at 11, some Washington County residents are pushing back on a plan in the works that could bring more jets to the Hillsboro airport, with those in the flight path pleading for city leaders to put a stop to it. Alma McCarty shows us why.
Because every once in a while we get a couple jets over, and one day I looked and I'm like, what are those jets going to?
Brett Hamilton says, as it turns out, he lives under the flight path of the Hillsboro airport, and current traffic, not too bad.
We want to keep it the way it is.
That's the ultimate goal, he says, behind his effort to stop a particular expansion at the airport.
We're trying to stop out-of-state New York Sky Harbor Group from turning Oregon into a parking lot for billionaires' private jets.
The company Sky Harbor wants to build private aircraft hangars to house up to 30 jets on more than 13 acres of leased land at the airport. Hillsboro's Planning Commission gave the proposal the green light earlier this year. Now the city's considering an appeal.
In a perfect world, I would love them to deny it and halt this completely and send Sky Harbor packing.
Several others feeling the same showed up to a city council meeting Tuesday night.
Hillsboro was made to be a small airport for a reason, but morphing something for big jets that are going to be mostly empty most of the time when they're zooming by. Picking up somebody from where Medford, it's like this is not their toy backyard.
Concerns include frequent noise, air pollution, and a lack of public benefit.
Why would having 30 more jets benefit the people of Hillsboro, and especially those who are living around that area?
Sky Harbor's team arguing that their proposal fits within the city's code.
Compare this to a parking garage. you have a parking garage adjacent to this, okay? And when that is approved, you are looking at the operational characteristics of a parking garage. It's the same type of review. You don't look at tailpipe emissions. This is a hangar at an airport. This use is an absolutely allowed use.
The city still has some time to look over the information from this hearing, which I should mention is still ongoing. Then they'll decide whether to approve the appeal, halting the project for now, or deny the appeal, allowing it to move forward. We'll let you know what they decide. David?
Yeah, the public backlash there, perhaps more than they expected. Thanks, Alma. Appreciate it. All right, to the future of Moda now. And today, Timbers owner Merritt Paulson, remembered him, weighed in on the negotiations between the Blazers and city over Moda renovations. And while he stopped short of naming Blazers owner Tom Dundon or directly criticizing him, he did point out some, let's call them differences between the two of them.
When you buy a team, you're not just investing in a league. You're not just investing in a franchise. You're investing in the city. You're investing in a community. And that's essential. I don't care. Look, I'm local, right? I in a perfect world, you live where you own a team, in my opinion. It doesn't always need to be that way.
Okay, remember, Dundon owns a hockey team in Carolina. He lives in Texas. Merritt Paulson there also mentioning Providence Park has been renovated with private money as the Blazers asked for all public funding. Though there was also more to go around. Paulson also put responsibility on city, county, and state leaders.
But this needs to be a wake-up call for the county, in the city, in the state, to make this region a region that's attractive to invest in, a region where businesses, small, medium, and the very few large businesses we even have here that can succeed and do well.
We have heard that sentiment before. Columbia CEO Tim Boyle, for example. Meanwhile, negotiations are supposed to be underway between the city and Blazers after council approved a framework for a deal last week. Though so far, we have not been able to officially confirm if the two sides are meeting. Another vote by city council on a final deal, in theory, is set for December. We'll keep you posted. All right, let's switch to a live look from our Vancouver Sky Camera. The Springs at the waterfront, looking out over the mighty Columbia after another stunning summer day. Matt, it's feeling a bit like rinse and repeat, though, without the rinse part, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we got more great weather on the way. It's a little bit hazy today. We'll probably see that again tomorrow, but no worries. Our air quality is still in the good to moderate category. 66 right now. We have the marine layer along the coast. Smoke from the fires. You can see a little bit of smoke from the Grasshopper fire, more from the Austin fire, which started up recently down in Clackamas County, but the smoke really not that prevalent around the state, which is good to see. Here's the smoke forecast. You can see the Austin fire really taking on the bulk of it in our plume forecast here. High lava fire, Southwest Washington, that's the Grasshopper fire. But for most of Western Oregon, we clear out of the haze and the smoke as we go into Thursday. So a little bit hazy tomorrow, but then it should pick up and improve in terms of our air quality. Mostly sunny throughout the day tomorrow, maybe some patchy morning clouds here and there, but we'll make it up to 81. Sunrise at 6:16, sunset now is at 8:11 as the days continue to contract as we roll through the last, month plus few days of summer, right? So again, it's a good looking day tomorrow. We'll talk about that smoke. You can see it from our Timberline sky cam and whether or not we get any thunderstorms and showers late Friday night and Saturday, David.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, starting with the search in Clark County for a father who allegedly took his infant son without permission. Well, the Amber Alert for the baby has now been canceled after dad dropped the child off with a family friend. We understand the boy's okay, though authorities say they are still looking for 37-year-old Raul Martinez. If you see him, you're asked to call 911. In an update, Portland police say a 16-year-old from Vancouver died and another teenager was hurt when they tried to jump off a moving train. This was near the railroad bridge in St. John's just before 9 on Monday night. Police say it appears the teens climbed into a train that was stopped on the Vancouver side of the Columbia. Their names have not been released. And detectives in Beaverton believe the bodies of two men missing for nearly a year have now been found in Tillamook County. Investigators say 67-year-old Eddie Hare, 68-year-old Scott Smith were close friends and disappeared last September, potentially on a camping trip together. On Friday, loggers working in the Jones Creek area off Highway 6 found a red Jeep Wrangler which matched the description of their missing vehicle. Authorities say it had rolled down a steep hillside and there were skeletal remains inside. To a major transit alert now, with big changes coming for some Trimet riders this weekend, because starting on Sunday, the agency will roll out their latest cuts, including the end of downtown service by the Green Line. Catherine Cook talked with some who are bracing for a tougher and perhaps longer ride on the roads and rails.
I was just thinking this is my last ride.
For Trimet rider Shannon White, her commute downtown is about to get a lot harder.
Everybody who needs to go downtown, we really needed this connection here at Gateway.
Beginning Sunday, the MAX Green Line will only run between Clackamas Town Center and Gateway. No longer will it carry passengers downtown and stop at PSU. That means riders heading downtown from Gateway will need to transfer onto a blue or red westbound train. Shannon will need an additional transfer onto a bus for mobility issues. The Green Line stopped right in front of her office.
We've always adjusted to whatever Trimet does, but this one with the MAX is really disheartening with the Green Line not servicing downtown anymore.
The Green Line changes are just part of Trimet's latest round of service reductions, an effort to cut at least 10% of service by 2028 to avoid what they describe as a fiscal cliff. The agency says between 2019 and 2025, their average costs went up by about 56%. Revenue, meanwhile, has not kept pace. Besides the MAX, Trimet will alter 34 bus routes and eliminate 2 lines altogether. Line 82 South Gresham and Line 153 Stafford Salamo will be no more, with Trimet citing low ridership. Back at Gateway, Shannon is trying to stay positive.
It'll work out, I'm sure, but the green was the best option, and I'm going to miss it.
This weekend will not mark the last of Trimet's service cuts. They're expected to propose more this fall, which would take effect next summer. In Northeast Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.